welcome to the shop. You got all of our junk in here, so I suppose we're about to go for a little walk around and see what runs and kind of what doesn't in various projects in the various states. I guess we might as well start off with obviously the coolest car here, right? This is a 1975 Oldsmobile Delta 88. We were taking the Supra down to sick week, and we decided to pick something up for Fernando to drive, and that's where we found this. Unfortunately, he's the only one here that doesn't like it.
See? Piece of junk.
No, that's a you issue for sure.
What do you mean?
He has no style whatsoever. You can tell by the way he dresses too.
We build junk in the shop, but this is top level. How fast are you going? You don't know. You can see it. How much fuel do you have? You don't know. You can't see it. But I guess it looks cool, right? That's all that matters. I mean, it matches wheels. That's a good thing. But other than that, can you show them this?
No. This isn't about functionality. Everything else here is built to be functional. This is strictly a style thing. We lost the coolant hose down in Florida, so that's why the engine bay is a mess. It probably makes like 170 horsepower, I don't know, but we're planning on putting some sort of a Hemi in here, maybe a 6.4. We got one with a Pro Charger on it. Just make it a fun driver. So this Jim here, this is a 900 some mile now Demon 170. It was stolen from a high up in Stellantis in Canada with only 61 or 62 miles on it. It's the 32nd Demon 170 ever built. It was cut up into like 6 different pieces, but before the thieves could get rid of the drivetrain and the brakes and all the expensive parts, they got busted. The chop shop got broken up, and we ended up buying it all from Copart after it got seized by the police, and then bought another shell, a white stolen Hellcat that actually didn't get cut up, and just pieced it all together and built ourselves basically a brand new Demon 170. We did a few little mods to it. We did a carbon fiber drive shaft on it, did stainless works headers, secondary muffler deletes, but I think that is it. It's basically stock other than that. We just put it on the dyno. It made 906 horsepower, 903 horsepower, only the second Demon 170 in Panther Pink. This one, we just added up the total cost we have invested in it. We have 66 grand and some odd dollars to make basically a brand new Demon 170. And it's just probably the nicest car we've built here as far as just being a finished product. We're not gonna do anything stupid with this one. We'll leave it as it is and just have fun with it. So this thing is ungodly loud, like way louder than you would anticipate a car with mufflers being. It's got the stainless works again. It's got the high flow cats on it. So this guy here, this is a 1987 third gen Camaro, the trailer park staple. Personally, never thought I'd own one of these cars. I never particularly liked them, but then we got the itch to build one of them for who knows what reason. Probably because we saw they made a Liberty Walk wide body kit for it and decided that looked really cool. So a third gen was finally worth building. So what it did is tried to make the best, the nicest driving, the fastest street car version of a third gen Camaro as we can. So we bought ourselves a crashed 2024 Yenko Camaro, which we only made 50 of from Copart. It was wrecked in the front heavily. We were able to salvage the engine. It's still the factory LT1. It's just been stroked out to 6.8 liters, Manley rods, pistons, the whole deal. It's supposedly made 1,150 horsepower according to Yenko. It has a Whipple, or had a Whipple 3-liter supercharger on it. We got that out at Whipple now, getting refreshed, getting modified for port injection. From the factory, these things are direct injection. We got all that stuff off of there. I'm gonna keep it kind of traditional on it, but it's our first LT build, so we're kind of learning as we go on this thing. So then underneath, we got the Turbo 400 transmission. It's actually the transmission, the exact transmission out of the Hemi Swap Supra. We did a full QA1 front subframe, suspension. They sell an entire car kit that's supposed to change the way these things ride. It's got coilovers, a bunch of different arms, the whole deal. So hopefully we can make this feel a little more modern. It's a new torque arm and everything. And then the part we just got in yesterday is this Curry Ford 9-inch rear. So in the quarter mile, we should be able to do like 170 without banging off the rev limiter. We have to be on a track in 25 days, something like that. It's a very short time, and it looks like this. So this wasn't the car I was thinking about when I said the builds are stupid occasionally, but this is probably the one that defines that best. We'd always put like big engines into small cars because that's the recipe for a successful engine swap, right? We decided this time we're gonna put a small engine in a big car and see how it works. We put a big HPT turbo on it as well. This is a 68 millimeter, which we actually found out's a little too small. We ran out of exhaust wheel on the dyno. There's a ton of back pressure. It was opening the wastegate up. So we're swapping to an even bigger turbo. But even at this, it made like 800 horsepower, just a click under, I think, actually. Hold on, we're up there. You got it. There's the new one. Does it look that much bigger? Yeah. Not as much as you'd think.
It's bigger, I promise.
It's bigger, yeah, trust me, bro, it's bigger, all right? This is a 71 millimeter, that's a 68. It's gonna be fine, it's gonna be great, yeah. I actually don't recall the color name of this, but it's green. And then we did the TE37s on it in bronze because any car with a Japanese engine should have TEs. We have the peanut butter interior, which again, just looks awesome, but more importantly, we got the full like ECU Master suite of products in here. Their PMU, their ADU, their ECU Pro. It's the first time we've used their whole thing in a car. We've used the PMU before. So it's been a bit of a learning curve. We worked with a new tuner on this one, but it's nice stuff. So I mean, we're still really doing the same stuff as the last time you guys stopped by, but now we're just doing it like all in one place. I think the last time we were over in the old shop, which is mainly just the salvage yard that we carved out a little corner to work in. So we finally decided to kind of just shuffle things around where all the salvage stuff happens on that side, and then this is straight builds. And then we got the engine rack over here, which we've been doing this thing where we'll buy cars from the salvage auction, from Copart, from IAA, wherever, and we will try to sell off as much of the car as we can, anything that survived, like wheels, interior, body panels and whatnot, and recoup, hopefully, in the good scenarios, all of our money, and then we'll be left with engines. And it's worked out pretty well for us. It's how we've got most of these engines, how we got the engine that we're gonna put into the donk up there. Sorry, it's not a donk, it's a big wheel car. So we've just been accumulating stuff. Now that we have the space to do it, we've just been trying to get as much cool stuff and as many just cool future projects as we can. And it's nice to just not have it be a shit show.